Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Triple H has reacted after an unexpected name appeared in the crowd on this week's edition of WWE SmackDown. The Game shared a picture with current UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira and shared a heartfelt message on social media. UFC stars appearing during WWE shows and vice versa is not a new phenomenon. Especially now that both companies are owned by the same parent organization, TKO Holding Groups, these crossovers have become more common. The most recent example went down on this week's SmackDown, where Alex Pereira was spotted in the crowd. The UFC light heavyweight champion even met Roman Reigns and exchanged shirts with him backstage at the show in New York. Now, Triple H has shared a picture with Pereira on his X, FKA Twitter, account and wished him luck in his upcoming title defense. Great to have the champ at Alex Pereira UFC at #SmackDown last night in Buffalo. Excited for what's to come in your career and can't wait to see your next title defense, wrote Triple H. Vince Russo thinks Triple H could leave WWE in 2025 on a recent edition of his The Brand podcast. Vince Russo shared a bleak prediction about the Game's future in the Stamford-based promotion. Russo believes Triple H could be gone from WWE by next year and potentially be replaced by The Rock's close friend and creative partner, Brian Gewirtz. Guys, I have said this and I am not going to go off of my prediction. I think Hunter will be gone from the WWE in 2025. I'm sorry, these lawsuits are going to develop. A lot more is going to come out of them. Ari Emanuel has The Rock on the board. Ari Emanuel and The Rock have a very long relationship. And The Rock is so key to this because why do I need Triple H if I got The Rock? You don't think The Rock doesn't have a laundry list of people that he'd want to hire and bring into the fold? Brian Gewirtz at the top of that list. I don't really see a need for Hunter if Ari's got Rock in his back pocket, he said. Ever since he took over WWE's creative control, Hunter has taken the promotion to new creative heights, and although it doesn't seem like his position is any danger, stranger things have happened. The lights of the WWE SmackDown arena flickered, signaling the end of another electrifying show. Fans in the stands, still buzzing from the high-octane matches and thrilling surprises, were about to witness a moment that would go down in history. A new chapter was being written in WWE, and it started with a star who had never before stepped foot in a WWE ring until tonight. The moment was seismic, and the world will never forget. A hush fell over the crowd as the cameras panned to the back. For weeks, rumors had swirled around a mysterious debut, a massive star whose name had been whispered in hushed tones. Triple H, the mastermind behind much of WWE's modern creative direction, stood backstage, watching the monitor intently. A slight smile tugged at his lips as the moment unfolded before him. Who is it? Who's making their debut? The fans were on the edge of their seats, shouting names, speculating wildly. A deep, thunderous voice echoed through the arena, unmistakable. The Rock. The crowd erupted into deafening cheers. The Great One, the icon, the movie superstar, the trailblazer, was standing in front of them. But Triple H knew something that most of the audience didn't. This wasn't just a nostalgia moment. This was a shift in the universe of WWE. Backstage, Triple H watched the electrifying scene with a sense of satisfaction, tempered by a flicker of concern. He had orchestrated this debut, and while he believed it was the right move, he couldn't help but feel the weight of the decision. The vision of Triple H had been quietly plotting this moment for months, anticipating the right time to bring in a major star who could not only elevate WWE but also take the SmackDown brand to new heights. He'd seen the potential, the growing anticipation, and the media buzz surrounding the speculation. The time had come. The Rock's appearance wasn't just another guest spot, it was part of Triple H's long-term vision for the company. He knew that pairing legends with fresh talent could create the perfect balance. The Rock could elevate current stars while passing the torch to the next generation. But even a mastermind like Triple H couldn't fully predict the tidal wave of excitement that would engulf the crowd. As the segment unfolded, The Rock delivered his signature verbal jabs and electrified the audience with his unmatched charisma. He wasn't just there to make a one-off appearance, he was there to make a statement. The Great One didn't mince words as he addressed the SmackDown roster, taking shots at Roman Reigns, the undisputed face of the company. Roman Reigns and the Bloodline Triple H couldn't help but think about the complexities of the Roman Reigns storyline. The Tribal Chief had been the cornerstone of WWE for years, but The Rock's appearance added a new layer of tension. In the past, the two had crossed paths only on occasion, but now, with The Rock back in the fold, their paths were set to collide in a way that could shift the entire balance of power. In the back, Triple H sat in his office, processing the implications of what had just transpired. He had expected some kind of confrontation, but the intensity in the air, the palpable feeling of change, was overwhelming. The Rock had dropped a bombshell when he mentioned he was there to challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed title, but it wasn't just the challenge that had Triple H's mind racing. It was the realization that this storyline had the potential to be more than just a match. It could be a generational battle, a clash between two of the greatest to ever step inside the ring. It could launch both Reigns and The Rock into a rivalry that would define the era. Triple H's thoughts on the future. Sitting at his desk, Triple H's mind whirred with ideas. This wasn't just about Roman Reigns and The Rock, it was about the future of WWE. The vision that he and Vince McMahon had for SmackDown, for the entire company, was evolving right before their eyes. He remembered a conversation he had with Vince a few years ago, where they discussed the importance of nurturing new stars while still keeping the legends around to fuel the machine. The Rock was one of the biggest stars in the history of wrestling, but Triple H knew his legacy was cemented. Now, it was about using that star power to elevate the next generation, particularly Roman Reigns, the man who had single-handedly carried the company during its most challenging years. Triple H wasn't concerned about The Rock overshadowing Roman. He knew that Roman, with his undeniable talent and growing confidence, was more than capable of handling the pressure. But this confrontation? This would be the defining moment of Reigns' career, the opportunity to prove that he truly was the Tribal Chief. Roman was at the apex of his career, and The Rock's challenge would only push him to the next level. Triple H's phone buzzed on his desk. It was a message from one of the WWE officials. "Boss, The Rock's appearance is trending worldwide. This could be bigger than we anticipated. Are we ready for what's next?" Triple H leaned back in his chair, his fingers steepling. He couldn't deny the excitement of the moment. He had always known that WWE's future wasn't about sticking to the old formula, it was about evolving, bringing in new talent, and giving the audience what they craved. He typed a quick response, ready for the next chapter. "Let's make it unforgettable." The impact of the moment as the show ended and the SmackDown stage slowly emptied, Triple H found himself reflecting on the magnitude of the moment. He knew that The Rock's appearance wasn't just a nostalgia act, it was the beginning of something huge. This wasn't a one-off appearance. The Rock had just set the stage for an epic showdown with Roman Reigns, and Triple H was ready to capitalize on the momentum. Behind the scenes, Triple H had already begun strategizing. The build-up to this match would be pivotal, and he needed to get every detail right. He needed to keep the fans hooked, build the stakes, and most importantly, let Roman Reigns prove to the world that he was the true head of the table. In a world where WWE constantly pushed boundaries, Triple H knew that sometimes it took the return of a legend to remind the fans of the magic the business was capable of. And with The Rock making his presence known, the stage was set for WWE to usher in a new era, one that would forever be remembered in the annals of history.